The majority of the self-development industry is redundant unless you are white and privileged. If you do not belong in that group, then be wary of white self-development. What falls under this category is the popular mass pop culture type of healing and self-development, professional development, personal spiritual development, pop psychology, all of that falls into this general umbrella of white self-development. The more vague and simplistic it feels, it's white self-development. Example, manifestation. Another example, mantras. White self-development also includes simplified, colonized versions of spirituality or practices that are completely bleached and stripped off of the nuances and depth of what those practices actually are. Here's another one, narcissism content. Some of you are going to be very upset about this one, but hear me out. Narcissism and narcissistic abuse is power privilege abuse. In order for you to really understand how you become the victim over and over again, you have to see how much you come across as the prey, and the fact that you have little advantage in capitalism, patriarchy, and racism, and systemic oppression, and that's why you keep becoming the target and being taken advantage of, you get exploited. When an influencer and expert's content erases systemic oppression, that is a message saying that it is not relevant, or is assuming that you already have privilege in capitalism, patriarchy, and racism, and therefore not relevant. This is rarely the case with people who watch those videos who are suffering deeply. More likely, those conversations are not being shared because intersectionality makes it very difficult to simply package and mass produce self-development as a capitalistic and addictive product. This doesn't erase the fact that many of you would have benefited from these types of videos, that you will definitely find that it's not adequate enough for you to stop being the prey. Manifestations also tied to this, same as mantras and affirmations, because the more privilege you have, you manifest much faster. It takes very little effort. The less privilege you already have, you're gonna work much harder to climb up the ladder. When those conversations are not being talked about, even an industry like this is created to continue this cycle of oppression, because it is much easier to exploit the oppressed than to help them.